Should you bring your closet to work? It's an age-old question that the LGBT community has had to ask itself and still does. But what's the actual cost of being in the closet at work and leading another life outside of your career? That was just one question that was asked here today at the Out in the Office conference at the University of Western Ontario. The all-day conference organized by Pride Western and the Student Success Centre included a panel of guest speakers who are out in their careers, as well as keynote speaker Michael Bach. Michael, who works for KPMG Canada as the National Director for Diversity, travels the country to share why being out at the workforce is a positive experience.
I've seen a lot of change over the past 5 to 10 years in terms of people's attitudes. I think the reality is that most employers want people that can do their jobs. Your sexual orientation and gender identity is not about doing your job. And while I won't say all, I will say that there are a great many employers who would look at that, even in a conservative environment like London, and say, that has nothing to do with you doing your job, but we welcome all people.
One part of Michael's job includes traveling across Canada. Through his travels, Michael has noticed a change in the employer's attitude when it comes to LGBT workers.
I think we are seeing a vast change in the attitude of employers, because I don't think there's an industry that isn't facing a job shortage, a talent shortage. That we are always looking for people and recognize that excluding any group for any reason is not good for our business.
Statistically, people who are in the closet make 50% less than those who are out in their workforce. A main reason for this, Michael says, is due to stress by leading the dual lifestyle.
Ultimately, you're not going to be as engaged in what you do. And what that leads to is productivity issues. It leads to advancement issues. If your employer doesn't feel that you are as engaged in your work, they're not necessarily going to consider you for future opportunities within your organization.
Even if you're in the closet at work now and you want to come out, Michael says it's best to test the waters first.
Take a first step. So a coworker that you're close with who doesn't know, talk to them. Test the waters. Find a sympathetic ear so that you can have a support system. Make sure you know what the policies are in place. Is sexual orientation and gender identity included as part of your code of conduct or your non-discrimination policy? Make sure you know where you're going to stand with your employer, and that you protect yourself. And then just start the process. It is not the easiest thing in the world. You don't just come out once. You have to come out to everybody. And you have to test your comfort levels. So start with one and allow that relationship to grow. Get to know that person better, and then come out to a second person, and so on, until you feel more comfortable, until you're out in the workplace.
For more information on Michael, you can check out his website at www.michaelbach.com.